Is it time to stop working? What are the daily habits or practices to recognize to make sure we stay out of burnout? This is a really good question and something that we need to consider, especially when we have an online practice, especially when we're working with clients at a really deep level, right? If you're a therapist or a coach, this is really going to be helpful for you. And so I'm going to give really three quick important tips that you want to use every single day so that you can prevent burnout and make sure that you have enough capacity for your daily lives to continue on to be consistent. And so the first thing that you want to do, and what the first thing you want to assess and recognize and get really, really good at being mindful of, is that feeling of spaciness, right? So when you start to feel spacey in your mind, and you're starting to feel very slow, like your thoughts are very slow, you're getting too distracted, and you're experiencing this thing that I personally call as a time gap, where you're like, maybe you're looking at the clock and it's 6 p.m., and then suddenly it's 7 p.m. and you didn't get anything done. Like time just suddenly like melted away, right? Just that weird feeling of like a time gap. When you start noticing that, that is a big sign that you are getting exhausted. And so you want to first pause and be mindful, because this is the sticky place and situation where we can either just power ourselves through it and continue to be slow and inefficient and unproductive, or it can send us into something like doom scrolling land, right? Where we're either just going to distract ourselves with scrolling through Reels or TikTok, or we are going to distract ourselves with like watching dumbass TV shows, right? And so this is when we want to pause. When you feel that spacey feeling, like a little bit dissociated, where you're just like, I don't know what's happening right now, really pause and start asking yourself questions, because you can do a lot of things within that time period to make it more beneficial for you than not. And so you want to pause and ask yourself this question. Okay, so obviously there's this task that I want to do, right? There's something that I want to complete. Would it be beneficial for me to continue how I am? Just be honest with yourself and ask yourself that question. If the answer is yes, then I guess you keep going. But if the answer is no, which most likely is going to be, if you were really to listen to yourself, if the answer is no, it is not beneficial to continue how you're doing, then you pause, right? And you get to determine the priority. Is this something that I really, 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 really need to do today? Finish this tonight. And if the answer is no, then you get to delay it for the next day. And if the answer is yes, or if this is happening very early or on in the afternoon, then listen up to the next two tips. So if it is something that can wait, delay it, and then just get some rest. If for some reason the thing that you're doing is something that you need to do, like it is 9 o'clock and you just need to get it done for the next day, then you still want to pause and listen to your mind and body to see what it's doing, and rank yourself with the number, like what is your body feeling, what is your energy level at, and then where is your mind at. So doing that ranking, this is part of the specificity protocol that I teach inside my nervous system trainings. So you want to see where you're at, and if your energy is low, then do a quick somatic practice to help your energy levels go up, to temporarily help you go through and finish that prioritized task that you need to get done that day. And then immediately tell yourself to stop doing anything else that's not important and then head to bed. There are going to be some days and nights where this is going to happen, right? Where there is a task that we need to finish. So, in order to take care of yourself, you then want to upregulate. If you don't have any upregulation somatic practices, comment upregulation below, and then I will send you that training. So you've done that, and so maybe it's like also the middle of the day, it's 2 o'clock, and you're just like really, really spacey. This is where we get into the second part of this, which is to take frequent breaks. Our mind loves novelty. Right? And sometimes we can get too hyper focused on what we're doing and we become, again, unproductive, too slow, and our mind can really just handle 90 minutes to 2 hours of intense work a period of time. It gets very exhausting. Our brains take up a lot of energy. So what we want to do is take breaks. So you want to determine what that sweet spot is for you. As I mentioned, 90 minutes usually with really hard focused work is what our minds can handle at a given certain moment of time. So determine that for you. And for me, it's very similar as well. After an hour and a half to 2 hours of real focused work, like getting a lot of shit done, I will take a break very specifically and strategically. So that's when I'll eat, that's when I'll move around, that's when I'll do a somatic practice. So that would be something for you to do like taking a break, doing something novel that's different from what you're currently doing. If you're maybe writing content within that 2 hours, do something else, maybe do like eat, fold up some laundry because that shit never ends, right? Fold up some laundry, and then get back at it. Just giving your mind something novel and then going back is really going to help you continue that clarity and continue your creativity with that in that sense. So frequent breaks throughout the day. What is that sweet spot for you? Is it 60 minutes? Is it 90 minutes? Is it 2 hours? Find that sweet spot and it's going to be different every day. And also notice that there is a normal drop in our energy levels in the afternoon. So if you're slower then, you might need to take more frequent breaks. So what I definitely recommend is take frequent breaks throughout the day. That's something different. And a break can just be like 5 to 10 minutes, right? It doesn't have to be that long unless you want it to, unless you have other priorities, right? So it's really good that you can schedule that stuff in. Um, like the other day, yesterday, because at around 3 p.m. I was really getting spacey too. And then I went to do my groceries, which involves me walking because I like to walk as much as possible. So I just went for a walk, gather the groceries that I needed. It got a little bit of a workout in because it was some heavy shit lifting. And then after that, after I got home at like closer to 5 o'clock, my focus was so huge by the end of the night too. So that can actually just be really helpful. Never underestimate the power of frequent breaks throughout the day. And number three, what I would definitely recommend is before you do number three, you want to make a list of what fills you up, what fills your energy up. So things like, if you have children, playing with your children, maybe it's listening to music, maybe it is just moving around, doing something else. Make a list of the things that actually fill you up energetically. And also at the same time, make a list of the things that drain your energy. And once you have this list, right, once you have this list that already works for you, like data that you prove to be true for you, then during the day, in the morning, you want to prioritize one of each, right? So an example would be for me, something that fills up my energy is having a meaningful conversation with someone, whether that just be someone from the internet, because I work in using social media, something like that, or one of my friends. Like I actually talked to one of my very best friends this morning, and so that filled up my energy. Like he asked me a question, I was confused, and then I was like, I'm so confused, and then we sorted shit out, and then I called him delusional, and we had fun. It was all fun and games, and that really lifted my energy up throughout the day. And so having a priority like that once per day where you're actually prioritizing something that you're going to do that day that will fill your energy up so that when you start getting tired, you will utilize that. And at the same time, you can also, when you have that list of what drains you and you prioritize that one thing per day. And for example, one for me is skipping meals. There are some times during the month where my hunger cues are pretty much close to nil. And so because I don't have that hunger cues, I forget that I need to eat and that my body needs food. I know, a weird problem to have. But it is a problem because then I crash in the afternoon. Like that is actually not good. Like that really drains my energy. It is not good. I have to be very intentional. And so that happened to me the other day where I needed a 2 hour nap in the middle of the day because I forgot to eat. Like really, but that was my own fault. Anyway, but that is what I know to drain my energy, skipping meals, right? And so that is what you want to prioritize per day. And so the next day, that is the thing that I prioritized. I prioritized the meals and I ate immediately. And of course, my energy levels were better and I didn't get as tired. And that's how you stay out of burnout, right? And so it's really, this is a trial thing that you get to do every day. And the priorities that I would recommend that you have is something that is dynamic and changes every day. Like you could have the same priority of energy filler upper and energy drainer. Like you could have that same thing per week, or you could change it up. It really, the main point of this is, and how you stay out of burnout is working with your dynamicness as a human being. You get to change your mind, okay? You get to change your priorities, and really just allowing yourself to decide and then change things up as necessary. This is what's going to bring that vitality back and help us stay out of burnout. So if today your priorities are the two different things, then you can change that tomorrow. Or if it's in the middle of the day and you want to change those priorities, do it. Allow yourself to just be dynamic in that way, and respect what your intuition and what your body is telling you. And so that would be my overall daily habitual recommendations to help you stay out of burnout, to keep you going. Um, when you're, the first thing is assessing when you're about to get to that point, where you're starting to feel very spacey, very low energy in your body, your mind's just blanking. Pausing, asking yourself, is it worth it to continue? Is it beneficial for me to continue? And if it's no, listen to it and either do something else that's fresh, can help you upregulate your system if it's in the middle of the day, or if it's the end of the day, time to rest, right? Allow yourself to get that extra rest, and that extra sleep that you'll get is also going to be more beneficial for you. And then after that, take frequent breaks throughout the day. So if it's in the middle of the day, you're feeling that spaciness, go do something else that is beneficial that can help you upregulate your system or remove something that is draining your system as well. And then third, make it a habit every single day to look at a priority and pick one for now. Pick one for now and say, this is the energy filler upper that I want to prioritize today. This is the draining energy drainer that I want to remove today. And then keep yourself in that habit. And this way you can, like, you'll know what to do, right? If for some reason at 9 a.m. you unexpectedly just feel that crash, right? You'll have that energy filler upper, or you'll have that drainer to remove from what you're doing, which then helps you to keep going. So hopefully that made sense and has been really helpful. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and I will see you around.